Hi and welcome to the fourth video on double stops. Originally I planned to use this video to start putting what we've done in double stops 1, 2 and 3 into a rhythmical frame. But then I thought about the aspect of intonation and sound, and I find that so important that I decided to make this video on that before we move on to putting things into a rhythmical frame. You see, Ruggiero Ricci used to say, if you play in tune and in time and with a good sound, you're already playing at a high level. That's true. We're going to worry about the in time aspect later, and we're going to concentrate on intonation and sound today because they belong together. You see, a note cannot possibly sound good if it's not in tune. And the other way around, you can only really hear the intonation properly if you're playing with a good sound and you have plenty of overtones and plenty of resonance. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to use the double stop patterns, which we did in double stops 1, 2 and 3. So I'm not going to go over them in detail again because you have those videos to find out what they are. And we're going to start with sixths and octaves on the G and D string in major. Now you want a sound which is as big and beautiful as possible. So what's helpful is to go into a room and practice in a room which is over-acoustic. That's a tip I got from Ricci, and it's really very helpful because it's not only more fun, but you can hear the overtones more clearly. Ideal is a church. Failing that, a bathroom will do. It makes a big difference. So you start off with open strings. Already use those because if you've tuned your violin correctly, you don't need to worry about intonation there, but what you can worry about is making the best possible sound you can. Remember, the three components of sound are speed of bow, point of contact, and weight of bow on the string. Point of contact means whether you are closer to the fingerboard or closer to the bridge. So when you're playing these open strings, play around with that a bit. That's closer to the fingerboard. That's closer to the bridge. Faster speed of bow. Until you find the sound which you like best by your own definition. You're making the sound, you have to like it. Nobody can tell you what to do as far as that's concerned. And then you do the same thing with the octave. So you go from the open string as usual, stay on it until it's in tune. Give yourself plenty of time to correct. And once it's in tune, work on the sound. Find out how fast does your bow have to travel, which point of contact is best, and how much weight do you need for the G and D string. So you're working at both aspects now, intonation and sound. So you're staying on the note not only until it's in tune, but then also until it sounds as beautiful as you can make it sound. If you practice double stops this way, you will notice that you're going to be practicing sound and intonation together more and more. You will be simultaneously practicing intonation and sound by correcting your intonation and correcting your sound. Now, very important is to use all your bow. So you go and then the sixth. When the intonation is correct and you have the exact combination for a big sound of the three sound components, point of contact, speed of bow and weight of bow, then you will have a sound which has lots of overtones and lots of resonance. You can hear that, but you can also feel that because you have the violin is connected to your body here. So if you have lots of resonance, you can feel the resonance in your body. So that's very, very helpful for practicing sound because then you definitely know you have a good, beautiful, big sound. Another thing which is helpful is to breathe through your mouth, not only because we need lots of oxygen when we play the violin, we just get more oxygen by breathing through the mouth, but it also helps the entire resonance, because not only is your instrument supposed to resonate, but your body, which is playing the instrument, also has to resonate. So if you're stiff and tense somewhere, that can't happen. So I find it very helpful to breathe through my mouth when I do these kind of exercises. I would strongly recommend that you practice all the double stops, which I explained in the videos, double stops 1, 2, and 3, in this manner. That will be sixths and octaves, major and minor on all strings, and also thirds and unisons, major and minor on all strings, because we're going to build up onto those. So the more you've practiced those and the better you can play them, the easier it will be for you to go on. So practice sound and intonation at the same time. Stay on the note until it's in tune, and then stay on it until the sound is the best sound you can possibly make. One thing which is very important when you're practicing double stops is to make sure you open up your angle a bit, because especially double stops lead to kind of digging a hole. The violin will go down and the bow will follow, and that will make a good sound impossible. Plus it's very bad for your posture. You can actually get neck and back problems from that. So make sure that you're opening up this angle as much as you can. Make sure that if you fall down, that you notice it and correct it and open up the angle. The other thing, when you're playing these double stops and when you've corrected for intonation and you're playing for sound, let your emotions flow, because different notes produce different emotions. If you're going, notice the different sound of the octave, and then the sixth. Your ear will hear the sound, and that will do something for you. So let your emotions flow, feel the sound as much as you hear it, because sound is a matter of hearing as well as feeling. So I actually very much enjoy practicing like that, because sound is just a lot of fun to practice, and I hope you do too.